Strangers Chapter 3 is directed by Rennie Harlan. Well, this franchise is officially a trilogy now. Alright then, let's talk about it. Now, the story of Chapter 3 starts off with our pinup girl, one of our strangers, Shelly. She's a receptionist at the Venus Motel. No, I'm not really sure if this is a real profession or she's just doubling as one to find the next victim. It's hard to say. A poor, unsuspecting victim, a woman, takes lodging in this motel. Little did she know that this would be the last night of her life. Not soon after, Shelley goes about her usual MO. She goes tapping on her door and saying, is Tamara home? And then she just ambushes her and kidnaps her and takes her to a barn and kills her in a brutal fashion with no remorse whatsoever. And guess who's the audience? The Scarecrow as well as Jasmine are two other strangers. Now, fast forward to the present. She's no more. Pinup girl is dead. She's dead on the ground. And in the fit of rage, Scarecrow lands some final blows on her with his axe. And this is where Maya, our main protagonist, carries forward the movie. Goes to a church and she tries to mourn the loss of this stranger. Now, what I really like about this movie is it is carried by a single protagonist. Maya is the only real protagonist in this movie. If you have noticed, there's no other except maybe her sister Debbie as well as her husband Howard, who come looking for her, try to inquire about her, but they ultimately end up becoming victims. But Maya carries this movie to the entire runtime till the end, and that I found pretty impressive. Now, the thing about Strangers is they're all the same. The one thing about this franchise is there is no uniqueness. The first, second, the Pray at Night, as well as this, they all seem very similar to me. They look the same, they feel the same, they sound the same. However, the chapter 3, I do admire it for trying something different. It adds more layers to the character, it tries to flesh them out a bit. Since it's mostly the final installment, they try to do something different. They add backstories to his characters. It seems our killers were killers from a very long time, even since they were kids. It started off then. Our Scarecrow, Gregory, he basically started by him killing his classmate, who I guess was his bully. And his father happens to be Sheriff Rotter, who is apparently very well known in his department. He has a good reputation, and he used that to his advantage. He protects his son. He protects the killers because he may be a police officer. He may have a good reputation, but he screwed up himself. He himself, we find out long after, he himself kills people. Now, so basically, all of them have a checkered past, and this reveals to us that they were doing this from a very long time. Now, what I really like about this franchise is, especially in the first one, is the sense of mystery. You don't know, especially in the first one, when they raid the house, they ambush the unsuspecting occupants. We don't know. We don't know who they are. We don't know what their motive is. We don't know what they look like. We don't know what they sound like. Maybe a little glimpse of that. That's it. They just kill. They kill without any apparent reason, without any apparent logic. Now, this actually added a sense of fear. It added a new layer of dread to the movie, and that's what made Strangers 1 a pretty good chapter. Now, as Billy Loomis from Scream, the first Scream, he did say that it is a lot scarier when the killer has no motive whatsoever, and that's exactly what Stranger Chapter 1 is. And so that was really good. It was intriguing. However, Chapter 3 unravels all of that. It literally removes this mystery factor. We know what they are. We know what they sound like. They are unmasked. We know who the killers are and how they will eventually end up. Now, this, I get it. They wanted to add something different. They wanted to add some new layers to this film, but it did not work out. In my opinion, it was a double-edged sword. I guess in this context, less is more. The lesser you show, the better. The better the cinematic effect. However, I think they ruined the main competitive advantage they had. That is the mystery, and I think it weakened the movie. And I think that really played to the detriment of this film. Now, another thing I really want to touch upon is the main question that was posed in this movie. In fact, this was used as a marketing stunt. It was used as a way to advertise this movie. Even in the poster we saw, is Maya going to be the protagonist throughout, or is she going to go to the dark side? Is she going to become one of the strangers? Is she going to be like included in the gang? Well, the answer to this is yes as well as no. Now, this is going to be a bit of a spoiler. If you really don't want to be spoiled, if you don't want to know what I'm going to tell in this regard, I would say skip a minute or two because it's a spoiler territory. I'm pretty sure that by this point many have seen the movie, but even then, a small heads up to you guys. All right, so here goes. Yes, she does kill, and she does so pretty well. She does it without much remorse. She gets desensitized to all the bloodshed. Even her own sister is killed in front of her, and she barely shows much reaction. She does kill. However, she doesn't harm innocent victims. She basically kills the killers themselves. That's right. She targets her rage towards them. So yeah, she does kill. At the same time, she's not with them. She's not one of the strangers. She is on her own. In fact, she walks away alive at the end. The kills in this movie are pretty brutal. As with any slasher movie, what we horror fans really crave is some good, nice kills. I mean, we want our antagonist to be as scary as possible. I would say the best kills are given by the Scarecrow, Gregory. He basically takes his axe as his main weapon. He uses it pretty brutally. He is pretty physically strong. He just rams through people. However, overall, it's bland, it's boring, and they could have been much more creative with the kills. I feel they could have given us a better spectacle, better gore, better bloodshed. This was missing in this movie. I'm not sure if this was a creative decision, if it was a budgetary constraint, or if the movie was just not written well. I'm not really sure about what the real reason is, but I feel that was lacking. Compared to other franchises like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, this one really falls flat. I mean, it's at the bottom rung of the ladder, if you ask me. However, the one redeeming factor about this whole thing is the runtime. The runtime is pretty alright, 1 hour 30 minutes long. It is pretty easy to get through. If you don't like this movie, you don't have to get out of the theater. You don't have to keep looking at your watch. You can get through this pretty easily. It has some substance. It can at least hook you for the at least that short period of time. So the runtime, why it's pretty short, it does play to the advantage of this film. Overall, guys, it was pretty mediocre. I was never a fan of this franchise to begin with. I mean, if you have nothing better to do, if you really want to see a movie, want to see a basic slasher movie with a basic structure, with not so good characters that are just passable, go ahead, watch this movie. Now, it all depends on which camp you're in. If you're a real fan of this franchise, you love these characters, you love Strangers, all the three chapters, all the installments. All the power to you. Go right ahead. You will like this chapter 3 as well. However, if you hate this movie, you did not like the chapter 1, chapter 2, or anything that came before this, chapter 3 is not going to really reinvigorate your interest. It's not going to really make you crave this franchise more or love this franchise more, in my opinion. I mean, I always tried. There are some franchises where I try to like it. For example, in the first or the second viewing, I didn't like it. But however, in the third or the fourth viewing, sometime in the future, I started liking it. I tried my level best to like this franchise. I just couldn't. I just could not like it. However, I'm not going to completely downgrade or put it down. It is all right. It is mediocre at best. Like I said, depends on what your initial perception of the first two three installments are. So, what do you guys think? Do you like this movie? Did you watch it in theaters, or are you waiting for it to come on streaming? Do shout in the comments below, and please do subscribe if you're interested, because it'll mean a lot to me as a growing channel. And let's embrace cinema together. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.